Wrestling icon, the Blue Meanie. Now, can you tell us, the fans of pro wrestling, how you got into the wrestling business?
I was fortunate enough when I was 20 years old to train with Al Snow in Lima, Ohio.
I got to ask you this question. I was at the old arena shows and the ECW shows, and what was it like first getting over with the head gimmick and everything? Because I was there, man. That was nuts.
It was such an awesome time, an awesome memory, and I think for the grace of God and ECW fans and the Plastic Head, if it weren't for that, I wouldn't have a career. So
it was something else. I remember they were giving out the heads before the show. And
yeah.
I had one for like 20 years after. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So about the match with Shane Douglas at the pay-per-view, I know you were saying earlier that it was a Paulie swerve. It just seemed like it could have went such a different way, and I don't know. It was such a shock.
You try things, and and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't,
Yeah.
and time will tell. A lot of people said that they felt that like people expected and wanted me to win the title, and when it didn't happen, they were like turned off, like they were disappointed. But there may be just as many that thought it was wow, I never thought that would happen,
Yeah.
never expected that. So you never know.
Yeah, it almost kind of reminded me of when they turned Fonzie on Taz, because they were like a perfect match, and I just never knew why they did certain things they did.
Yeah.
You were hotter than hot at that time, man. I mean, I never saw anybody get that over that fast.
It wasn't fast. It took a while.
Okay.
But I was really happy with how things were going. I was loving life. It was great.
Experience in Smoky Mountain Wrestling and in ECW.
I loved both. They were both unique and different from each other. Smoky Mountain Wrestling, I love Jim Cornette dearly, and got the opportunity to work with Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, which was priceless. And, ECW, Paul Heyman was fantastic, and I got the opportunity to work with Shane Douglas on a regular basis, who I admire, and Taz and Sabu and, Rob, all the guys. It was, completely unique and different from each other, but both great.
It's, the only person I really had some real history with would have been Ken Shamrock. Al was not, I'm not sure, was Al working at that same time for the WWF?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, again, I don't remember it just because of a number of years back, but it's professional wrestling is a very politically based career, and I have no future in politics.
Okay.
As I used to tell Jim Cornette, I'm an ass kicker, not an ass kisser.
Okay.
So, if people want my opinion, I'll give it to you blunt, raw, rub your face right into it, because I look at doing things on a very intellectual, intelligent side, and there's sometimes I've been involved in scenarios in professional wrestling that don't have any rhyme or reason to it.
Now, your character was mainly portrayed as a heel when you were in WWE. Now, what did you think about being a heel?
I really don't think it was portrayed as a heel. It's kind of like even when I go out here tonight, I'm really more or less viewed as that serious competitor. I mean, I come out there in basically the same type of garb that I wore in the Ultimate Fighting Championships. Black trunks and usually black boots of some sorts. A sweaty gray T-shirt. See, a lot of people always say, well, why do you always wear a T-shirt? I go, obviously you were never involved in collegiate athletics. In collegiate athletics, you are issued a set of grays. And I used to rate my workouts by how many sweaty shirts I finished out a practice with. Standard is 2. On a really good day, 3. And I'm not talking just a little bit. I'm talking about saturation that you can wring it on out. Amateur wrestling classes, give me like amateur wrestling practices, I would typically lose anywhere between 8 and 12 pounds in a 2 to 2.5 hour workout. Now you think about that. That's a lot of body weight to be losing, and I'm drinking still.
I trained Hawk and I and Smash and Demolition and Scott Norton with the NWO. So, yeah, man.
Okay.
That's badass Billy Gunn right there.
What's up, Billy?
I just wanted to get in this.
Nice, man.
I like doing stuff with Joe. Me and him are chemistry.
That's right.
We always have back when we worked together, and I beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a lie.
He
That is
literally did it. He literally did his lie. Look.
Okay. Now, anyways, what's your favorite era or time period in pro wrestling?
You know, man, I think now is a great time in wrestling, man. You got great companies opening up, you know, between Impact, Ring of Honor, WWE, and now All Elite. Are you kidding me? All Elite's killing it right now, bro. AEW's killing it, you know. And
Hey, Georgia.
I'm very good. I'm very cold here, but I'm very good, thank you.
Now, you came all the way up here from Tampa, Florida, too. How do you feel about that?
Temperature shocked. I think my blood's gotten, or my skin's gotten thinner or something. But yeah, I'm definitely not used to this cold weather. But I'm really liking it here in Philadelphia, and I'm at the original ECW arena, which is super cool. And I'm seeing my brother Harry Smith and my cousin Teddy Hart and Brian Pillman Jr. wrestle tonight, which I'm really looking forward to. So all around excited.
Okay, now can you tell me what was it like growing up with the British Bulldog anyways?
It was pretty cool. I had a really awesome childhood. Yeah, lots of trips to wrestling shows. Kids didn't believe that my dad was the British Bulldog until he would pull up in the car and pick me up, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, that's your dad!" But as well, I didn't really get to see my dad that much. So there was some really good highs and some lows with it. But overall, I couldn't have picked.
Yo, this is the Fence Man here with this week's Top Rope TV Fence Man exclusive. I'm here with Molly Holly.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, now Molly, this is an awesome seminar, by the way, and thank you for coming up here, and thanks to Joey Bellini with Warriors of Wrestling for having her. Now, first off, what was it like working for WCW and the Team Madness angle with Macho Man and Medusa?
Well, it was a great experience for me to go from the indies, working in front of 20 people, to be on Nitro during the hottest time when wrestling, the Monday Night Wars were happening. And so for me, it was awesome to be with the people that I used to watch on television as a child, to be in the ring with them. I mean, it was surreal to actually be a part of that experience. I loved it. It was definitely one of the highlights, just to go from minor leagues to being in the main
Davey
event.
Boy Smith Jr. How you doing tonight?
I'm very good. It's been a long day, a little bit tired. Had a show for New Japan the past couple nights, flew from LA to North Carolina and then MLW today. So it's been a busy day.
Awesome, man. Now, what are some of the highlights of your career that you got?
Well, I had one tonight. Just won the MLW Tag Team Championship along with Teddy Hart, the New Hart Foundation. It's been a really, really awesome experience being with MLW so far. And Teddy and I, we're signed now to MLW exclusively, so you're going to see a lot more of the New Hart Foundation. Very good.
Yo, this is the Fence Man here with the Fence Man exclusive. I'm here with David Arquette. What's up, David?
I'm good. How are you, Fence Man?
Doing pretty good, man. Now, how was your match tonight?
It was good. Bully Ray came up at the end, though, jacked my back up, put me through a table. So it was going good, but the Sandman came in and I shared a beer with him, and my partner RJ City turned on me as usual.
I work Media in Tampa, Florida. I work at 933 FLZ, so I do a lot of media work. I do social media, special events. I do midday programming, and I do on-air talent work. So I do that, but I love to do on-screen interviews and be on screen ultimately. So MLW invited me, and Be in Sport invited me here tonight to do some on-camera things. So I jumped at that opportunity to do that, and it's been really cool so far.
Awesome. Now, is there anything else you'd like to talk about at all? Like any experience you had growing up? I know you're close to Brian Pillman Jr. And do you know Brian Pillman Sr. at all too? Or?
Yeah, I did. I met Brian Pillman Sr. The last time I saw Brian Pillman Sr. was after the In Your House show in 1997. Do you remember the Calgary one?
Yeah, I remember that one.
You just remember? Yeah, you might remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
So the last time I saw Brian Pillman Sr. was we went to my grandpa's house, the Hart House, after the show, and he was holding a cat. Coincidentally, Ted's got a cat here tonight, so it's like full circle. But yeah, he was holding one of my grandpa's cats, and by that was the last time I saw Brian Pillman, was at my grandpa's kitchen. And I just met Brian Pillman Jr. today. Actually, we were on the same flight from Atlanta. I had a stop over in Atlanta, so we met. And it's just like we've always known
your
each other.
angle in WWE with Spike Dudley has been one of the biggest highlights of your career. What made that so?
Well, to be a part of a storyline that fans can connect with, or to look forward to like what's going to happen next, that makes the job so worth it, because it's one thing to have a match where you're responsible for entertaining the fans with that, but when there's a story attached to it, you can draw so much more emotion out of the fans and out of yourself to really put on a good show, and so that's why I love that time with Spike.
Okay. Do you have any memorable matches at all, or any memories or inspirations of anybody else that you grew up watching in the wrestling business?
I mean, working every night with the FBI and ECW was a dream come true, because it was a learning experience with Tracy Smothers, who's like an unsung hero in ECW. But yeah, working with the FBI every night was amazing.
Okay. Now, probably being back here in the ECW arena probably brings back some amazing memories too. Now, like, is there anybody that you want to shoot on, or anything at all in wrestling today, like you want to shoot about?
Nah, man, the business is strong as ever. The independent scene is as hot as ever. Everybody's doing good, so I'm happy. You know, the business is good. Everybody's doing good. So, back, the indies used to go the way, if WWE was good, then the indies were good, but the indies are thriving on their own, so I'm happy. The independent wrestling's doing
This guy's
good.
coming in, he's making this money, he's cashing residual checks. I didn't sell one fucking shit. I had to go into business for myself, you know what I mean? A little bit. I apologize to you before I did it, so it's a courtesy. I would love to sell something.
Did you bring any shirts?
I brought a couple. I don't know where they are right now, but I have a couple.
Where are your photos?
Where's your agent? Where's your manager? Where's the big entourage, the David entourage? You're wearing a Ted DiBiase shirt. Is it bootleg? I don't even know. What are these, kids? I don't know what to do. And then somehow we won. Riddle me that.
We did.
When the WWF became WWE, you underwent a huge transformation, not just gimmick, but look as well. What was it brought on by changes in WWE that you began to think it was time for something different?
Well, they just needed a heel, and so they just told me to be a heel, and then they didn't really know what kind. And Ivory was super popular with the right to censor, so I was just kind of like a knockoff version of the Ivory's right to censor type of gimmick as a heel, and it worked for me. It was okay. I mean, I didn't really enjoy being a heel, but the transformation was just because Jazz had hurt her knee, and they needed a heel, and so they just asked me if I would do it, and I did.
Abdullah the Butcher, how are you doing today, Abdullah?
Very good, sir.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show, and it's a pleasure to have someone from the WWE Hall of Fame. Could you tell the wrestling fans?
Wait a minute. You have a lot of good wrestlers here. You got a lot of top wrestlers, top guys, big guys. Okay. In the wrestling business, it's got to be like a carnival or a circus. Mm-hmm. You can't have the same guys with muscles and stuff. You understand? Okay. And if you ask Bobby Fulton, he will tell you, Stan Hansen, okay, they got some good big guys here working. Okay. And they're professionals. Mm-hmm. You could take all these guys here to Tokyo, San Juan, Puerto Rico, all over Australia and everything, and they could draw a lot of money.
Okay.
Yep.
Right, now, how'd you get your start in the wrestling business anyways?
How did I get my start? I was teaching a karate for Bert Ruby, and Jack Britton was the main one who got me into the business. Okay. Him and Gino Brito. Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Now, do you have any inspirations that got you into the business at all?
Well, I knew this guy, I don't want to say it, but Bobby Fulton, we've been friends for many, many, many years. And I used to look at him wrestle and stuff like that, and I liked the way he wrestled. He had a partner and stuff like that. He's been to Japan with me many times. And
do you have any memories backstage at all?
Yeah, I remember I used to play backstage with all the guys. Bam Bam Bigelow, he taught me how to use a yo-yo, which I can sort of do now. I was always good friends with the Nasty Boys, still am. Of course, my uncle Brett and Owen, Bart Gunn, Steve Blackman, they were good friends of my father's too, and I got to know them.
It was an honor to be a WCW champion, and I'm in the record books. RJ, people like RJ are always very jealous, but you can't turn back the clocks of time and the clock of time? I don't know.
Sands of time.
Yeah.
He's a very eloquent partner. It's so funny. He's the actor, yet I'm the one cutting the promos, too. I'm really propping it up in all corners here.
Get the fork. It's in your jacket. Get your fork. I'll stab him. I'll get your fork.